Hi friends, this is Barb Pask. I haven't been on in a while. Of course, like all of you, I've been busy with Christmas and quite a few pet commissions this year, which I feel really blessed about that. So today is just a couple days before Christmas, and I'm pretty caught up other than making food. So I thought I'd do a little video for you. Hopefully it'll turn out. I thought it would be fun to do something with a little bit of a Christmas theme. This is just a 5x7 panel. Let me show you what I'm going to try to do. A little snowman and a couple of ornaments. Looks fun, right? Yeah. So that's what we'll do. Hopefully it will turn out. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. I appreciate that so much. If you're not a subscriber, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll have a link below in my description box to my website. I was thinking, as time moves along and I get more subscribers, we'll do some things. We'll do some giveaways and stuff. I'd be happy to do that. Maybe some little paintings like this. With a panel like this, I can stick it in an envelope and send it off. So. Well, let's start off, and I decided this time to tone the canvas. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and I'm using a really fun color tonight. After all, it's a Christmas painting and all about color. This is a Cobra paint. Most of my paints are Cobra, a few of them are Duo, and it's, I'll tell you, some of them you don't use a lot and you carry them around for years. I can't really read the color on the tube. I don't know how it looks to you, but it's obviously a pink color. And I have toned with this color before, and it can be fun to have it peeking through. We'll give it a little wipe and get some of the water out of it. Don't know if you tone your canvases, but frequently I do. And in most cases, I use an orange color. I like little bits of that peeking through, the finished painting. And the nice thing, too, is you don't have to cover every little tiny bit of your canvas, too, if you got a little tone color there to start with. Okay, so let's get our little one sketched on here. I'm using a view catcher. I like this thing. I always use it. And it has some, I don't know if you use one or not, it does have some measurements on it, 8x10, 11x14, but obviously it doesn't have a 5x7, so I just kind of approximate the shape of that panel, and I look through that. All right, we'll take a somewhat smaller brush, and we'll try to sketch it on here. What I'll probably do is run the ornament on the left off a little bit, I think. Okay, we'll kind of approximate where the top hem is. It's sitting on top of a bucket with some white fabric below it, so that's about where the fabric is. Mr. Snowman, it's about in there. I'd like it to be painterly. I'm an impressionist, consider myself an impressionist, and I like things to be painterly. The last little video I made with the dog, I mentioned as I painted that was being shipped off as a gift. And it went to Canada. I do not ship to Canada on my website, and part of the reason is, the lack of control that you have. It's been gone since November 26th, and they haven't received it, and I have no idea where it is. So if it doesn't show up, not sure what I can do about that. They can track it out of the country and then it's gone. I'm surprised so many artists are willing to ship out of the country. I just would prefer not to. So I asked them if they had received it, and she said, "What is it? We'll watch for it." And I said, "I don't want to tell you what it is. It's a surprise." So, you know, I figured I send it plenty early for Christmas, but it doesn't look like it's going to be there for Christmas. All right, this is one of the ornaments, so just kind of do that to make sure you get a round shape. I set this so you could see the top of it and that little wire hoop. And then the other ornament is gold. Kind of look at how much space I can see of the blue one to decide where this one goes. And then I set that on its edge so you could see that wire. All right, now we're looking at it, and I feel it's all too small. So we're going to wipe it back. Trouble is I don't want to, well, let me go ahead and take a little water and get rid of it. You got to be willing to do that. You know, when I was a beginning painter, I would spend a lot of time sketching things on, and a lot more than I do now. I don't, you know, I do a minimal sketch, and but a lot of times, you know, the drawing's a hard part of it, and I would spend a long time, and I would get this real nice sketch on there, and things wouldn't be quite right, and I would leave it, knowing that it really wasn't great, the composition, and I'd go ahead and paint it, you know, and if your composition's bad, it's just not going to be a good painting. I don't care how well you paint it. All right, let's look at this again. I want to fill this canvas up a lot more than I did. Let's think about this. We'll get the snowman higher. He's going to be, okay. He's obviously going to be a lot bigger than life size. All right, let's try to get him bigger. We will get him bigger. I had a lady pick up 2 pet commissions the other day, and not commission me to do another one, which didn't obviously, you know, I wouldn't have taken it on for Christmas, but as it turns out, I think it's finished. She's in town for Christmas visiting family, so if she's happy with it, I can send it home with her. So a lot of the animals I end up doing are pets that have passed away. So I feel like it came out really nicely, so I'm always on pins and needles waiting to hear, you know. I've been pretty fortunate over the years, you know, that people have, in most cases, been very pleased. Well, I never had one that I couldn't please. Sometimes there's a couple little adjustments they'll want, and but I want them to be happy. I mean, it's their babies, and all right. I'm looking at this negative space from the edge of the snowman over. Now, this little ring ends up way down here. Something like that, and the shadow goes back that way. Just shadow area in there. Now back in here I got a blue ornament, and I did consider, you know, maybe changing the little heart to blue to make it more, pull it more together, but I don't think so. I think we'll just paint it like it is. Okay, and the fabric goes down in about that area. All right, let's do him. My brushes are mostly Rosemary and Company, which come out of the UK. See if I can show you that. These are the Evergreen series, which are a softer brush. I've been enjoying those lately. Okay, now we're going to mix up, well, let's do the snowman first. And he's white, obviously. He doesn't, because of the texture of him, he doesn't, I don't know what he's made out of, but he's not glass. So it doesn't have any bright highlights on him like glass would. So we'll start with white. Oh, I got that crazy pink stuff on my brush. Let me get rid of that. That's got some pigment in it. Wow. I pulled some white paint out here and it was instantly pink. I have rinsed and rinsed and it is still in my brush. Got some really great tinting strength, doesn't it? Still, I'm pulling it out of there. Wow. All right, so I'm going to pull some more white out here. We'll avoid that pink pile. All right, we'll get some white, and we'll make it a dirty white. We'll just take the 3 primaries, take some blue, and some red, and some yellow. Mix up a little puddle stuff here. And we'll mix that into the white. He does have a shadowed side over here. This is kind of a warm white. Obviously, let's go ahead and, before I get ahead of myself here, we'll darken this dark side of him, which is darker than I need, but that's okay. We can pull it back. Yeah, when we get to the point that we have maybe 500 subscribers, maybe I'll do a giveaway. Again, I want to keep in mind I want this to be painterly. He's got a little heart on his stomach. And a red hat. The heart's red, but actually it's a little bit more toward a brick color. So I want to throw a little transparent red oxide in that. We'll go ahead and put that heart in. With acrylics, if you were an acrylic painter, you would probably just block him all in white, and you could work that way. Part of the reason I don't is I like painting negatively. I like coming in and around stuff. That's why I tend to do the background last. A little late, I guess, to do a Christmas painting. Over the years, I have painted my Christmas cards many, many times. I was kind of busy this year, so I just went through my previous paintings from this year and chose an image that I really liked, and I added Merry Christmas to it, and then I went to Vista. I don't know if you're familiar with Vista. I use them to print all my business cards, VISTA, and I downloaded the image into there and made my cards this year. Okay, his little scarf is green. we'll get it a little bit darker green where it goes toward that shadowed side. You don't want to do it just all the same green. And where it comes around here in the lighter side, we'll add a little yellow to it. And he's got little, I guess they're mittens. Though they don't have the shape of a mitten, they're just kind of round like that. Again, the one that's over here more in the light, will yellow it up a little bit. See how that looks. Everything, I've said it many times, everything is subject to change. All right, let's go ahead and block in the mass of his body then here. Now there's a nice shadow on him here where the ornament's casting a shadow on him. He's sitting on a little base here of some kind. I had cataract surgery on Thursday. The second eye, the other one was done 2 years ago, so I made it 2 years, which is pretty good, I guess. The first eye, they put a lens in for close-up because that's the way I see. I see close with one eye and distance with the other, which is an advantage, really, because that's what he did. He replaced the right eye with a close-up lens and the left eye with a lens for distance, so I don't need glasses. I think it went pretty well. I'm pretty pleased. I can see a difference, literally. The only little issue that I'm having, but I'm not complaining, is that because the right eye only sees close up, as I look out, it's kind of, and I do have floaters, but it's kind of like there's a floater in front of my eye, and it's because it's out of focus compared to the other eye. But I think in time my brain will get on board with that and it won't be a problem. I was talking to my daughter about that today, and she was telling me, I guess it was a video she had seen where they put glasses on people that turned everything upside down. And I don't know how long it took, but in time, the brain turned the images back right side up. So, pretty cool that could happen, yeah. So I think I mean, it's not bad, it's just a little bit that I notice it. And so, like I say, I think in time, my brain will adjust and I'll be good. It's much better than it was. It was getting so, people would walk toward me. Like I go over to the community center every day, and I couldn't really see faces clearly as they were coming toward me. And nighttime driving, if you've had cataracts, you know what that's like. It's like a sparkly light show out there. So I'm glad it's over. I'm busy now doing eye drops. You have to do a lot of eye drops. He's got little arms. though you can't see them much. This one just kind of lit on top. A little bit of a shadow here on the other side of this heart, because the heart's kind of, it's three-dimensional, it's raised up. And like it ought to be a little fatter. And again, we're not too concerned with getting things just right yet. It's early. All right, let's look at the ornaments now. Snowman, of course, he's got more detail. We'll be adding the things that we see that I don't have on there. Let's bring this scarf out a little bit too. Got some polka dots and things and little buttons. Of course, he's got to have eyes. Let's do the ornament in the back first. Can't see a lot of it. I'm actually going to take cobalt blue and ultramarine. Mix my two blues together. I see one little reflection in it. I can't see much. Over here I can see some reflection of the snowman, which just creates a, I'm just going to use some cobalt and some white over on this side. When I was getting my Christmas things out, I should have given more thought to keeping some ornaments out, but I didn't. Okay, I'm looking where things land here. And make sure it feels round, and it actually goes behind the snowman. Alright, let's do the gold one. And I want it to feel like it does go behind the snowman, so we'll do what we have to do to make that happen, you know, to push it back. The gold one, let's see, I've got Indian yellow on here and I have cad yellow medium. There's a definite lighter area to the ornament down in here. Let me think how this lays. and then much darker on the top. I may have to get out a smaller brush to, at some point. Now there's a nice bright highlight in the middle of the yellow ornament. I'm going to take white and put a little yellow in it. Let's see what that does. See a little red in there too. That's probably the reflection of that heart. You know, we'll clean up the shapes of these when we put the background in. Up in the top of the blue one is a little tiny highlight. Okay. Let's grab our little tiny brush just for a couple little things here. It's early, but I want to get that little highlight in on the top of the ornament. A little highlight there. Nice bright highlight there, kind of ribbed, you know. And this ring, we'll have to paint in once the background's in. Same with this one. Let's do his little eyeballs. They're very close, and I don't care if they're perfectly round. To me, they feel better if they're not. He's got a little button here and a button here. He's got a couple of stripes, which they're not really showing up, are they? Put a little texture and light in that heart. Little mittens have little polka dots. You know, and I could get real picky with this. I have a stylus. I could make little perfect dots if it really mattered to me. But I'm not going for photorealism. Got little dots up here. Let's put the background in. Which we're going to just go for the 3 primaries. I'm just going for a gray. And then do we want to go lighter or darker? Playing around with it, I'm darkening it up. Need to do a little work on some things yet, his hat and yeah, I don't want to think about, do I want to cover up all that pink either? I don't. I mean, I put it up there. I'd like to make sure you see some of it. See, that's going to have to be darker in there, just kind of, and let's get a shadow in here too for the snowman. It comes out into here. Across there. And then we'll go ahead and make the foreground a bit lighter. think we'll warm it up a little bit as we get to the lighter side over here. All right, let's get our little brush back out again and try to clean up the tops of these ornaments. All right, let's look at this one first. A little darker as it goes around the edge there, and I can see just the other side up a little bit. And I can see the hole. And I can also see, as you probably can, this doesn't feel real round yet. Feels a little misshapen. Okay, and then this guy up here. Let's get a little lighter. We'll put that highlight back in again. We still got that one, okay. Now we're going to draw that wire in. We'll do this one first. And we'll do the one up there. Okay, now he's going to have to stand out from the background. So we'll probably have to put some highlights on him so you'll see him. Which I do see them. Okay, I'm looking at the little hat now. It's a little darker on that side. And it does have kind of a muted highlight on it. Okay. You know, when you're painting, you're so busy painting, it takes, you know, a little while for you to stop and look to see how everything's working as a whole. I like reflected color, so I'm putting some of that in both of those ornaments. And I'm going to get a little darker on the edge of this ornament. Right, I'm looking at some shapes. I'm looking at the shape of this ornament. Okay, let's mix up a little bit of a warmer white, a little yellow and white for this snowman because I want him to feel like he's lit. It's lit up into there. Kind of comes across like that because of the shadow. Maybe, maybe not, we'll see. May have to put his eyes back in, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and put that button back too. Okay. Get my little liner brush back out again. Put his eye back in there, and this button here we lost. We're looking at him. Is he cute? I feel as though that side, I kind of cleaned up the shape of him, but now I feel like maybe it'll be a little darker. And his little green scarf kind of comes up on his little neck there and goes up that way, and it's back in here too, kind of running off of him. So we need to get those little red stripes on that part of the scarf too, like we did in the front. A little bit darker over there. How are we doing on time? Yeah, about 45 minutes. Some advantages to doing a little one, isn't there? We're not at it so long. And as you can see, I left a lot of the pink showing up here. Trying to decide if that's what I want or not. See, I think it's kind of fun peeking through. It's a kind of a nice color with our theme. I got highlight, but I want to make sure you can see the wire. All right, how close are we? Let's see. Kicking up some stuff a little bit. Okay, I see something there. The top of his arm is lit. I don't know if it makes sense even, but we'll put a little highlight on the heart. This is a clean brush. We're going to see about maybe mussing up a few edges. I got to be careful here. This is pretty clean color. I don't want to ruin it, but I want to soften it. That ought to be darker back in there. Let's brighten this up a little bit. pretty shattered over here, but I want him, you to understand he's got an arm, so I'll think about that. And I keep playing with this side because I feel like I kind of lost the edge of him, but yet it needs to be dark, so. Put some of this blue in here too to define this ornament. Okay. My feeling is you don't have to describe everything anyway. I like the viewer figuring some things out. I'm back to warming this guy up again, maybe getting a little heavier paint on him. Warm white. All right, taking that button out again. I just thought some texture might be fun on him. And then all right, put the button back again. Okay, and I'm going to brighten up that edge down here. He's kind of on a little paper platform, with an edge, and all right. I think we're going to sign him. Maybe next year at this time, we'll have a lot more followers and maybe we'll do a giveaway. Well, hopefully before then. But like and subscribe, please, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Barbara Pask Fine Art on Facebook. I post quite a bit. I'm pretty prolific. All right. I'll back up and show him to you, and I'm sure I'll see things that need tweaked. Hopefully not. Yeah, I think he could use a little explaining up here. See a little highlight there. I see he's got little polka dots through there. He's funny, he's meant to be funny. It's kind of a... All right, I'm going to back up and I'll show you the setup and I'll show you the painting. There's a little painting. See, he's got some pretty heavy paint on the body of the snowman now. This is shadowed on the head, which kind of makes him feel like it's smaller, so I may need to lighten that value up a little bit. I think you can see what I'm talking about there. Here's a little setup, the snowman and the ornaments. That was about an hour, kind of fun. Yeah, that's one thing I definitely see. It looks like his eyes are offset and not, but they are in the center. It's just I believe that value is a little dark. I kept playing with the value on the edge here too, but there is a shadow on him over there, so that's why I kept changing it. I'd brighten it, then I'd darken it. So, all right, I'm going to get off of here. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. off to a new wonderful year, hopefully for all of us, happy and most of all healthy. All right, you please join me again, and after the new year, well, who knows, after Christmas anyway, I'll paint again. All right, thank you so much.